what is the lowest salary or what is your lowest price you would accept? What they are doing in that moment, they are asking for your minimum because they are asking you, what are you willing to settle for? And you answer it. Not because you are weak, not because you're not smart enough, but you answer it because you were being taught to be polite, to be responsible, because you see that as being professional. And you know that that is how to build a personal brand, is to show up and to serve and to be grateful when someone either wants to work with you or offers you a new job. Here's what nobody told you. The floor that you name becomes the ceiling that they built for you. So what happens is that you don't build a boundary. You handed them a blueprint. There is a clinical name for what happens in that exact moment. Gay Hendricks calls it the upper limit problem. The upper limit problem is the moment you name your floor, whatever it is for you. A minimum, a lowest point, an acceptable loss, or what you are telling me is not possible. That is your upper limit problem. Because you feel your nervous system. And your nervous system, people told me it's not possible, so I better stick with what other people know to be true for them. But what is true for other people doesn't have to be true for you. Wherever you are on your career journey. What people believe to be true is their personality, and their personality creates a personal reality. And without you knowing, you decided in that moment to settle. But what I also hear my clients tell me is that they are truly not angry, but they have an anger feeling, anger feeling, we call it that, and sadness that they sold themselves short. And I don't want you to sell yourself short. So what you want to do is to control your nervous system. Because as it goes with my clients, you can feel in the moment when someone asks you a question where you are asked to set your minimum standard. Because people go for your minimum standard. Remember, in every conversation, there are two roles. There is the one who asks questions, and there is the role and the one who answers questions. And oftentimes, and I've been there as well, building my business, is that we let customers, clients control our price. Even hiring managers control our price. But what we forget, a couple of things we forget. First off, we forget in that moment that we have an amazing track record. And someone said to me the other day, but I'm just new in this business. Yeah, but what is your personal brand? How do you want to stand out of the crowd? What is your personal brand? I'm building my personal brand every single day with the way I choose to show up, with integrity, with a heart to serve. What about you? That's one thing. we forget our personal brand. So we rather accept what's safe because you see me, I'm so happy, but afterwards you're maybe not so happy. And there's something else you forget as well. If you have a family, you forget why you go to work, why you have a work. It's not just for yourself. It's also to make enough money so you can enjoy life with your family. And if you have children, you want to make enough money so that I get very emotional right now, so that they also can achieve the biggest dreams. At least that is for me. A lot of the things that I do, is that getting out of my comfort zone, is to help my daughter, Elizabeth Sophia, get a better education, has the opportunity to go to better schools. That is also why I do it, but it requires me to get out of my comfort zone. So you accepting an offer in that moment is because that factory, and yes, it is a factory, puts a price on your effort, but how good have you been at articulating the results that you deliver? So what I want you to do instead is, in that moment, if you feel that question, and I practice this quite a lot of times this week with my clients, if you feel there's a question that doesn't resonate with you, then sit with this and say, right now, what is the lowest point? That's an interesting question to ask. All right, I know the value I deliver. So this is actually what I see myself as, not in the role, but the value that I deliver. Whatever that fits in your salary band, I don't know. But tell me, if I go in and help you solve some of the biggest problems that you have, what's the value for you? Get them to tell you the value that you bring. Whatever you are, whether you do the gardening, whether you do, I don't know what we have in English right now. I have some Danish words. Whatever it is, what is the value? And circling back to the upper limit ceiling, you oftentimes sell yourself short. But that's not what we do in the industry. Who is to say that? Is that the ultimate truth? Oftentimes it's not. So be super curious about what you are telling yourself, what you're telling me, and how you serve others. I also talk about the tapping effect. How good are you at what you do? Sell your results, sell the transformation, not the doing, not the activity, the transformation and the results they will achieve, or she will achieve, because you are on her team. Because the moment you answer the question, what's the lowest you will accept? You left the leaderboard. You've been kicked home. And then they own the conversation. And then they started to play their game. It's all about being strategic and show up. And do it with integrity. Do it with love. And if they say no, amazing. Then there's someone else waiting for you. We've been so tunnel visioned in school that we have to say yes to what shows up. But I've been on this journey long enough to know that is not true. And if we come with a negative energy, a taker's energy, well, you also end up with those matching clients, customers, and opportunities, companies. And I don't want that to happen for you. So what do you do instead? You do not dodge. You do not judge. You do not. So what do you do? So what do you do instead? You declare. That is the declaration protocol. The 3 moves in order every time. First you declare, before you click join on Zoom, before you answer the phone, before you go into that meeting, right? Declare who you are. Most people under-declare themselves. I want you to declare for yourself who you are. And that comes by you deciding the position you are worth, the opportunities that you are a match for, and you say no with love and respect. That sounds really interesting, but it's not really a match for what I want to do next. With respect, you never know what comes next, right? You never know what other doors will open when you say no, because then you also show that you have respect for them. Number 2 is that you get to release the need for validation. You're not in that room to be a people pleaser. You shouldn't be in that room to say, hey, you see me, right? Because then you come from a doer mode. It's not a strategic, trusted advisor move to need validation, because you already know your worth. So own your worth. Sadly, many women negotiate against their own worth because they want to be seen. They want to appear as agreeable, as likable. But finding a new job, finding a new customer is not a negotiation. It's an audition. I order my customers. I don't have customers. I order my clients. And you should order your hiring managers as well. It's a 2-way street. It's not I can say yes or no to you, but you cannot say yes or no to me. But that's what we've been trained, but it's so wrong. And that's what I want to do this video, because I've seen the pattern so many times. You get to audit those you want to work with. You have your own company and show up as a business owner. And oftentimes you forget the audition. And third, own your issue, not own your issue, own your assets, own your track record. That is what they that is why they want to work with you. Your lived experiences is why people come to me, because I had to learn to regulate my nervous system. I had to learn to own what I'm truly good at. I had to learn it the hard way. And people reach out because they want to fast track their next job. They want to have more happiness in their life. They want to feel calmer, more relaxed in rooms that really matter. The same goes for you. What are you really good at? You put tons of time in where you are right now. Own your experiences, own your scars. That's the reason why you're so good. You shouldn't go and discount yourself, because there's one thing, and that is that you are irreplaceable. So declare, release, and own your assets in that order every time. Here's what I want you to leave with. The upper limits problem is not about ambition. You have plenty of ambition. It's not about capability. You have more than enough. It's about the questions that you've been trained to answer. Every time someone hands you a floor, a minimum, the lowest acceptable point, they are not asking about your budget. They're not asking about who are you also responsible for to feed. They're not interested in your life. They are asking you to declare your own upper ceiling. And you've been saying yes to that question. And that glass ceiling, most women, that glass ceiling, most women fight. The glass limit ceiling most women fight is not in the boardroom. It's not in a leadership conversation. It's in the exact moment they answer a question that they should never answer. You build it with your words in good faith. Which means you also have the power to stop building it. That's not a small thing. That's everything. The ceiling was never above you. It was in the answer. So next time someone hands you that question about the lowest you will accept, the minimum you will settle for, the ceiling of what's possible, don't answer it. Declare instead, I know you can. Now go.